Welcome back. So in today's session, we will have a demonstration for the experiment number 6, that is realize a JK master slave flip-flop using NAND gates and verify its truth table, and the same has to be implemented in HDL. So this experiment is from part B of the digital electronic circuits. So we have already studied regarding the way in which the circuits can be designed and implemented with respect to your adders, subtractors, multiplexers, code converters, and also the demonstration for the simulation using the HDL is already been done. So in today's class, we'll be checking regarding the realization of the JK master slave flip-flop using NAND gates only. So very important to remember this. So my realization should go only using NAND gates. And you need to verify the truth table. Once the truth table has been verified, you need to go with the simulation part. So in the real world, it goes in the reverse manner. I'll be going with the simulation first and later I'll be going on with the practical implementation. So first thing what I need to know here is what is a flip-flop. So when you speak about a flip-flop, what is this particular flip-flop? So flip-flop is basically a bistable device which can store 1 bit of data. So the flip-flops are the very basic elements or very basic building blocks of your digital circuits. So when you say that you have some data to be stored, these data are very basically or the minute bit of the data are stored in the flip-flops or it is stored in latches. So we'll not discuss about latches in today's session because we have nothing to do with the latches with respect to a practical demonstration. We'll just check regarding the flip-flops. So what you need to remember is basically flip-flop is a bistable device which can store 1 bit of data. So when I say bistable data or bistable device, my flip-flops can be exhibiting two states with respect to the output. So it can either be exhibiting 0 or it can be showing either 0 at the output side or it can either be showing 1 at the output side. So this is what is called as bistable state. Later we need to check or we need to understand what is this JK flip-flop. So when I speak about the flip-flop, we have got different kinds of flip-flop. So you can speak about SR flip-flop, you can speak about D flip-flop, T flip-flop and JK flip-flop. So this JK flip-flop what we are having here, this is actually the advanced version of your SR flip-flop. In order to remove the disadvantage that was present in the SR flip-flop, they designed a JK flip-flop. In case of your SR flip-flop, when both set and reset were high, it was defined or it was exhibiting a undefined state. So undefined state means it was neither high, it was neither low, which was undefined. So you cannot say it is a high state or it is a low state. So in order to overcome that particular disadvantage, they designed a JK flip-flop. Coming to JK master slave flip-flop, so this flip-flop what we are going to study in today's class is basically the combination of two flip-flops. One of the flip-flop is called as master and the second flip-flop is called as slave. Both of them are going to work hand in hand. What I mean to say is, normally with respect to flip-flop, the data will be stored or data will be sent to the flip-flop during the clock cycles. So you can call it as clock edge triggered flip-flops. So this clock edges can be positive edge or negative edge. Whereas in case of latches, you don't have something called as clock signals or clock edges which will be letting the data to be stored in the flip-flops. So in case of this master slave flip-flop, it is a combination of two flip-flops. So you have one flip-flop here which is called as master and one more is called as slave. This both are given with two inputs. Let me say one input is J and one more input is K. In addition to this, I'll be giving a clock input. So this is your master and this is your slave. They are connected. They are connected. In fact, they are connected. So this master will be storing the data. If the master is storing the data during the positive edge of the clock, the slave will be receiving the same data what is present in the master during the negative edge. In simple words, these flip-flops are going to act like master and slave in the different clock cycles. So if master is working during the positive edge, my slave is going to work during the negative edge of the clock. But the data what you are going to store will be stored in the master itself, and from the master the data will be flown to the slave. So my slave is going to show the action, or he is going to repeat the action what the master is doing. But in the opposite clock cycle, if the master is on during the positive clock edge, my slave will be on during the negative clock edge. This is why we call it as master slave flip flop. So the JK flip flop which has been designed as a master slave flip flop, we call them combinedly as JK master slave flip flop. And the design has to be going on completely with the NAND gates. So the components what I need to take here are, I need to take a NOT gate. So there are no lot explanations needed for this particular NOT gate because we have been using this NOT gates very frequently in almost all the experiments. We need to take a 3-input NAND gate. So these are the people who are pretty much new to us because we wouldn't be, or we have not used NAND gates till now. So we need to be taking 3-input NAND gates which are 2 in number, and we need to be taking 2-input NAND gates which is 1 in number, and finally a trainer kit and the patch cords to make the necessary connections. The theory has already been explained to you people. So it is all about the basic 1-bit digital memory circuit is known as flip-flop. That's what I said. It is going to store the 1 bit of data. It can have two states. This is what I said, bistable, either the state 1 or 0. A flip-flop on the other hand is edge triggered. Edge triggered is clock edge triggered, which can change the state when the control signal is nothing but your clock edge when it goes to high to low or low to high. So basically it is clock controlled, which is having two states. JK master slave flip flop is the positive edge triggered flip flop, whereas slave is negative edge triggered. So master here will be working during the positive edge, which means that data will be stored in the during the positive edge of the clock, and slave will be storing the same data during the negative edge of the clock. Therefore, master first responds to JK inputs. So J and K are both inputs, and then the slave. Suppose if J is 1 and K is J is 0, K is 1, master reset. So there is a truth table or a detailed truth table what you need to go through in order to understand the working of this particular JK master slave flip flop. So please remember it's a combination of two flip flops. One is the master and one is the slave. How do you differentiate between master and slave is the way or the time duration during for which it is going to respond. One will be responding for the positive edge of the clock and other one will be responding for the negative edge of the clock. The slave does exactly what the master does, which means the second flip-flop is going to repeat the same what the first one is doing. So the second one is called as slave and the first one is called as master. The truth tables what you need to learn. This is a truth table what has been actually imparted from the previous SR flip-flop. So let's not get in detail with respect to this particular truth table. Let's get to the truth table or a simplified truth table. So J and K are the inputs and this is your output. So this is Qt plus 1 means it's a next state. It's a next state. So when both the inputs are 0 and 0, this is Q of t. Q of t means it is actually previous. which means that when both the inputs, when you are going to give no inputs to the flip-flop, and when you are pressing the clock inputs, when you are giving the clock inputs to the flip-flop with no inputs or with both the inputs to be 0 and 0, your flip-flop output is going to exhibit the previous state. This previous state may be either 1, this can either be 1 or 0, what was stored in the flip-flop previously by the person who has used it. When you make 0 and 1, and when you press give a clock input, your output will be 0 itself. So in addition to this, I should be having one more table here, which was clock. So here I'll be giving clock pulses. So I'll be pressing the clock. When it is 1 and 0, your output is going to be 1. When it is 1 and 1, this is QT dash. QT dash actually here is can be called as toggle. Can be called as toggle state. Toggle state is a state in which when you give both the inputs as 1 and 1, and when you press the clock edge, your output will become 0. Again, if you give one more clock input, it will become 1. Again, if you give one more clock input here, it will become 0. Again, one more clock input, it will become 1. So this state is called as toggle state. Whereas if I had taken an SR flip-flop here, when you had given both the inputs J and K or S and R as 1 and 1, and if you had given a clock input, this state would have been undefined. It would have been neither be high nor be low. That was the problem what we had with in the SR flip-flop. So that problem has been removed in case of your JK flip-flop. In addition to this, when I speak about a flip-flop, my flip-flop black box will be looking like this. This is J, this is K. You will have a clock input. Outer side you will have Q and Q dash. You will have both the outputs, Q and Q dash. So you can observe both the outputs there. So this is how my truth table, or this is how my JK master slave flip-flop should work. For 0 and 0 and a clock input, it should show you a previous state. Previous state can be either 1 or 0. Whatever data has been stored in the flip-flop will be exhibited to you. It will not take any new data. It will just show you the data what it has already been stored. When it is 0 and 1, and if you press the clock input, it will go to set state. Set state means all the data will be cleared up. When J is 1 and K is 0, it will be, sorry, this was reset state. When it is 0 and 1 clock input, it is reset state. When it is 1 and 0 and a clock input, it will come to set state. When it is 1 and 1, a clock input, it will exhibit 0. Again, one more clock input, it will exhibit 1. So this output is going to change continuously with respect to your clock inputs, what you are going to provide. So the ICs what we are going to use here has already been explained to you, 7404. So this is your inverter IC or hex inverter IC. So pin diagram has been given here. So the pin diagram need not be explained to you people again, because we are very familiar with respect to this. 7400, which is pretty new IC. This is your 2-input NAND gate IC. Once again, a 14-pin IC itself. This works pretty similar to your, or the pin diagram is pretty similar to your AND gate itself. There is no change. 1 and 2 are input, 3 is output. So basically there are 4 AND gates present inside. Coming to 7410, this is your 3-input NAND gate IC. This is also a 14-pin IC, but you can see the pin configuration. This is your first NAND gate, this is your second NAND gate, and this is your third NAND gate. Pin diagrams are very important when I am rigging up the circuit, because I need to number the pins in the circuit in order to do the circuit connections. So pin numbers should be noted down very carefully when you are going with the actual rigging of the circuit. This pin diagrams will be provided to you people in the practical labs. So you need not by heart the pin diagrams, but you need to know what is your input and what's output. For example, for NAND gate 1, this is input 1, this is input 2, and this is input 3. 3-input NAND gate, right? And this is your output. For IC 3, 4, 5 are input, 6 is output. Very similarly for gate 3, 11, 10 and 9 is input and 8 is output. So you need to remember the pin numbers very properly. Coming to the circuit diagram. Circuit diagram you need to remember when you are coming for the practical examinations, because there is no design here. You need to just realize it here. When going to the question, it is about realizing a JK master slave flip-flop only. There is no design. So you can see my two inputs. This is your J, this is your K. This is your clock input. You can see two dotted blocks here. So this block is your master block. This is your master flip-flop and this is your slave flip-flop. Pretty much clear here. Clock is directly given to the master block and it is given to the inverter, and the inverted clock is given to your slave block, which means that this is working during the positive edge and this will be working during the negative edge of the clock. In addition to this, you can see there are two more inputs, which is preset and which is clear. So before you start the experiment, once the circuit has been rigged up here, you need to check whether preset and clear are working fine. So what you need to do is, you need to keep all the inputs low and you need to press preset input. If you give preset high and if you make your preset high and if you make it low, your output should be 1. If you make your clear high and if you make it low, your output should be low. Preset is all about, without giving J and K, you are feeding a data 1 to your flip-flop. Clear is all about you are clearing all the data that is present in the flip-flop. These are additional inputs what you can see in the master slave flip-flop. Other than that, it is a normal connections here. It's all, you give the J and K as input. Clock inputs are given to other two inputs of the 3-input NAND gate, and this is about feedback. From the output you are taking the feedback and you are connecting to the input, and again from here you are taking the feedback and it has to be also connected to the input. After that, this goes to the second stage. From there again shorting of the input and output. Again here shorting of the input and output. The clock signal is given here. With respect to this, I need to rig up the circuit. You can see here numbers 1, 2, 13, 12. I told you this numbering is pretty important for us because we need to number the ICs when I am rigging the circuit. So the numbers has already been given to you people. So J and K are input and you give the clock input and you see the output. The truth table what is given there should be verified with respect to the circuit what you are going to rig up. And you can see one NOT gate that is connected here. So 7404, 7400, 7410. But here I need, this is my first 7410, second 7410, 7400 and 7404. So basically I need to be having 4 ICs here. So that has been taken. So this is regarding the theory part of your JK master slave flip-flop.
So coming to the demonstration part of JK master slave flip-flop, we'll once again have a look into the truth table what we are going to verify now. So this is your truth table. So JK and the output. So 0 0 it is previous state, 0 1 it is 0, 1 0 it is 1, 1 1 it is going to toggle. Checking the circuit has been rigged up here. So we have a circuit here. So you can see there is J input, K input, clock which is inverted and which has been connected to the slave. So this is your master setup, this is your slave setup. In addition to that, we have a preset input and we have clear input. So basically I need to be having a clock input, J, K, preset, clear, Q bar and Q. So let me show you the inputs in the circuit what we have rigged up. So here in the circuit what we have rigged up, you can see 4 inputs. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is your J, K, preset and clear. Let me explain how it works later. Outputs, this is Q and Q bar. coming to the clock input, so your clock input is connected to monopulse. So a clock input has been connected to the monopulse of your digital trainer kit. Circuit, as always, will be looking out to be shabby for us because there are a lot of wires running here. So my circuit, so this both is made up of 3 input NAND gates. So this is your master flip-flop, this is your slave flip-flop, and this is one additional IC what has been used in order to invert the clock. So as explained to you people, I need to be having 4. So master, so we have a master setup here. So this circuit or this part of the circuit is your master setup. Coming next, this is your slave setup. So this IC, what you can see here, this one, this is your slave, and the last one is your NOT gate, so that you can complement the clock input what you are going to give to the circuit. So this is how your circuit is going to look like. As explained to you people, this would be more handy if I had a kit with me and if I was given with all the components. However, let me demonstrate the working of this. So initially let me turn on my kit. As I turn on my kit, let me make all the things 0. So when all the things are 0, you need not worry about what is the output it is having there. So in order to check the preset and clear input, let me make J1. This is how you have to do it. J should be made high, K should be made high. When J and K are made high, you will make your preset high and low. See here, you can check very clearly. Once again, I'll show it to you. See, this is your Q and this is your Q bar. J and K is made high, preset and clear is also made high. Now, preset is all about setting the data to your flip-flop 1. This is Q, this is Q bar. So you can turn off the preset and turn on the preset. When you turn off the preset and turn on the preset, your flip-flop is stored with the data of 1. And if you want to clear it, you can turn off the clear input and you can turn on the clear input. You can see your data going off. So preset is setting the data high. You have set the data high. You want to clear it off, you need to turn off the clear input and turn it off. However, this is going to show you the complement. If needed, I'll remove this Q bar. As of now, my flip-flop is having no data. So I want to make my data 1. I'll turn off my preset and I'll turn it on. Your data is 1 here. You want to clear the data. So you can turn off the clear and turn off the clear. Turn on the clear. Your data is gone. But when you are conducting the experiment, try to keep this preset and clear high. Now let me make this. As of now, your flip-flop is having no data. Okay, flip-flop is having no data. So let me make J0, K0. Once you make J and K0, once again let me show you the truth table. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Okay. So input given is 0, 0. What you need to do is, you need to go to the monopulse input and you need to press it once. So once you press this monopulse input, it's already pressed here. Once you press this monopulse input, your flip-flop is going to show the previous state. What was the previous data stored? Previous data stored was 0, right? So I'm pressing this monopulse input here. I'm pressing this and you're seeing the output. So it is showing 0 itself. Next, what you do is, you make your J0, K1. When J is 0 and K is 1, once again come to the monopulse input and press that monopulse input. When the monopulse input is pressed, it is still exhibiting 0 itself. Next, what you need to do is, you need to make J high, K 0. And when you make J0 and J high and K0, nothing is going to change in the output. So what you need to do is you need to get back and you need to press the monopulse input. Once you press the monopulse input, you can see your output going high. You can see the output going high. Coming to the final state, J is 1, K is 1. When both the inputs are made 1, I have already told you it's going to toggle. So what you need to do is, you need to press the clock input. When I press the clock input here, you can see your output toggling. Can you see the light glowing on and glowing? Can you see it is on and off? So instead of toggling here, let me connect it to the frequency input. And now if you can see, the light is toggling. Can you see that? It is 0. Yeah, it is 1. It is 0 and 1. It is toggling. So this state is called as toggle state. So you need to first check the preset input and clear input. Later make J and K 0, 0. Give the clock input and check the output. Again make J 0, K 1. Again give the clock input. Check the output. So every time you change J and K, you need to press the clock input. That is why we say this particular master slave flip-flop is clock edge triggered. One is going to work during the positive edge and one is going to work during the negative edge of the clock.